Welcome back, everybody, to the Sports Arena. We have a young admirer up here. I'm glad I can inspire young women to want to be on the stage.
There we go.
So we are moving to the NFC now. If you see, I have changed my shirt into an NFC shirt. I am not an Eagles fan, but a Malcolm Jenkins fan. So normally we've been going down the line, starting from the team that finished first to last, but we're going to go from the bottom up because we have a special guest with us today, Derek Jones from the BucksReport.com.
Yep, everybody.
All right.
Is it thebucksreport.com or just bucksreport.com?
BucksReport.com.
BucksReport.com.
Yeah.
So our friend Derek is up here today. And honestly, the big question right now with the Bucks, how are they going to fare these first three games with Jameis gone? Their first three at New Orleans, home versus Philly, home versus Pittsburgh.
Well, you never want to lose your starting quarterback at any time, especially when it's something off the field. But things happen. It's the NFL. You gotta be prepared for everything, and you spend the off season getting prepared. Good thing is they had a little advance notice that this was happening, so they have ample amount of time to get ready. I think the team itself in the off season did a good job. Getting some talent on the defensive side of the ball and surrounding the offense with some good pieces. So, Fitzgerald, he's a backup quarterback. That's what he is.
Patrick.
So, yeah.
He's got a magical beard, I can say that.
Oh, yeah. So, the main thing they got to do to compete in these games and give themselves a good chance to win is just go out there and, they got to play defense, obviously. Run the ball, play defense. You don't want to do too much. You don't want to make Fitzgerald do too much.
Exactly. He is throwing to some pretty good receivers, though, and Mike Evans and Deshaun Jackson, which had a kind of a disappointing year last year, the receivers. How do you think they're going to – do you think they're going to improve on their year last year? How are they going to play out this season?
Well, they're going to have to improve for any success with Jameis or, Fitz. They're going to have to improve. Main thing I feel like is going to be the play calling. Play calling is a big thing. You can't just run seam routes and deep routes all the time. Guys need to get into a rhythm. So part of that is on the offensive coordinator, who's ever going to be calling the plays. Just early on in the game, get the quick game going, make the defense come up, have to respect the quick hitches and the slants and everything quick. Then you got Jackson and some of those guys that go over the top. So.
Well, and even outside of the receivers, they actually have a really good, might be the best tight end group in the league right now with Cameron Brate and O.J. Howard.
Oh, yeah.
Who do you see stepping up in this one? Are they going to be equal? Who's going to be the better tight end? Who's going to get the more catches, more looks?
I like Brate. He's one of those guys, just, not super talented, but very smart. And can do anything you ask him to, run block, can get out there in the pass, stretch the field in the middle. And O.J. Howard, young guy, still learning. I want to say they could be equal, but, the football person in me says if you want to really expand your game and get to that next level on the offensive end, O.J. Howard is going to have to be a bigger part of the, offensive game.
Well, we were talking before the show, and Allie, you said something about you think O.J. Howard can actually have a big season?
Yeah, I honestly think he should be one of the focal points of that offense. We saw flashes of him last year when him and Winston connected a few times. I think they've kind of overpaid Brate, giving him that 6-year extension.
Yeah.
I honestly think that was kind of a dumb contract move. You drafted O.J. Howard for a reason, and he was the guy to take over that tight end position. They give Brate a 6-year extension. It's like it kind of scratches my head a little bit. It's going to be interesting going into the first 3 games. You're going – the first 3 games are probably the 3 toughest teams in the league right now. Yeah. So with Fitzy under the helm, he may have a magical Leonidas beard, and you think a guy from Harvard would be a smart enough quarterback to make great plays. It's I went into this season with really low expectations, and I'm talking real low after last year because the hype train.
All right, time out. Let
me finish.
This.
We're not up to your team yet. No, silence.
Hurry up.
Silence.
There are people who want to know some stuff here.
Yeah, and I'm about to get there. Last year the hype train on me was through the roof. I thought this team was going to be the winner of the division. They're going to go far in the playoffs, and it was just that was the team last year was. So going into this season, it's low expectations, but that's good though.
Oh,
With
yeah.
low expectations is the high ceiling on it. So they made so many adjustments on the defense to be a mean defense. When you get guys like JPP coming over and Vinny Curry coming over and, solidifying that offensive line, we're getting Ryan Jensen as your center, protection around the quarterbacks, whoever it may be.
Yeah.
That shows to me that the organization does care about what's going on, and hopefully they're going to improve on this year. It's just, do I see them winning maybe one of those games in the first 3 before Jameis comes back? Maybe.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's against the Philadelphia Eagles because I have a bet against Eric. So
Not going to happen.
it's just the thing that the big question mark I think is going forward with the organization is, what are you really going to do with Jameis? When he comes back in week 4 against the Bears, and if Fitzy does well the first 3 games, are you going to start Fitzy or are you going to start Winston? And if Winston comes back, is he going to have the mentality is, I am the starter of this team. I'm the leader of this team. Am I going to stop doing this stupid kid stuff that I've done in the years past? Am I going to stop being a distraction to this team? Am I going to be a leader of this team? I think it has to start with him and going forward.
Derek, is Dirk Cutter on the hot seat this year?
He has to be on the hot seat. I mean, you look at all the things that has went on since he's become the head coach, and the failure of a season last season, and everything else that has went on, the quarterback's situation. He has to be on the hot seat because
it's scorching hot right now.
The expectations last season was way up here, and you went way down here. You go out this offseason, you make some changes on the team, you bring in some high-profile players on the defensive side. Now the expectations for a lot of people are back up here. You're expecting the defense to make a huge jump. He's hitched his wagon to Mike Smith. Mike Smith had to come through. If he doesn't come through and we end up being under 500 and not making the playoffs, he may be safe, but it depends on how they look in that whole process. If they look bad, you got to make a change. If they look good and they competed, they lose some close games throughout the season, a field goal, 1 point, then maybe he can keep
they're
his
going to
job.
lose a few by a field goal. The way things look around here.
I think it also has to come to if I really like what they did against the Miami Dolphins. They had Todd Monken actually running the plays instead of Cutter.
That's good.
I think that's what they should do for the regular season, even though Cutter's saying, I'm going to run the offense. I think he should let go of that calling and let Todd Monken handle the offensive calls. I hope it doesn't come down to a few kicks, even though, Canizario missed one. But, this is a team that should rise up and do hopefully a little bit better than last year. I think, for Cutter to keep his job, it's got to be playoffs or bust. It has to be.
Well, the problem is this the toughest division in the NFL?
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
I don't know, man. Playoffs or bust is a strong, mindset to go by when you sit in a division where you had 3 teams that made the playoffs, the previous season. So that's going to be tough. All I'm looking for is some type of progress and just seeing them get better in areas where they failed that last season. And, the defense coordinator gotta be better, obviously.
What do you think the record is if you're predicting?
Oh, man.
Over under the wins.
8. I'm going to go 8-8.
8-8. A safe bet.
Yeah,
I'm going with 7 and 9.
I don't know. I see a lot of upside to them. I think they could maybe surprise the division, beat out Carolina and Atlanta. I'm going to go high. Let's go 10 wins for the Bucks.
Beat Atlanta. Whoa.
We'll get to your team.
Moving on
you
to
will
Atlanta.
have your time. So, well, Derek, I want to thank you for joining us today and talking about the Bucks. We appreciate it. We're here every Sunday. If you guys ever want to come out and talk Bucks again, we're happy to have you.
Make sure to go to bucksreport.com. We've got the crew back there. We've got Keith. We've got Derek. We've got Jay back there as well. Make sure to go to bucksreport.com.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks,
so moving
Derek.
along the division, well, I guess we'll keep going from bottom up. And you want to talk about your team, Chip. It seems like the Atlanta Falcons.
Yes.
There was a lot of distractions this offseason with Julio Jones and his contract. They were paying a lot of other guys. Is this going to affect – I know they restructured it. Is this going to affect his motivation this season?
No, he's a Falcon at heart. He always will be. He's there now, so I think all of that is behind him. I think the Falcons will look hopefully to maybe revamp next year and keep him happy. But he's a big focal point in the offense, and he's ready to go. He's good.
And speaking of the wide receivers there, Calvin Ridley, they drafted him out of Alabama. He's promising receiver in college. Is he going to prove himself in the NFL? Is he going to see a lot of touches of the ball this year?
I think we've seen a lot of great sight from him as far as preseason's been concerned. I know he had a great game last night against the Jets. He's a first-round player. I mean, he's a guy I think that can make a difference in the Falcon offense, and hopefully Julio Jones will get a break from all the double teams. Wherever they're going to run Calvin, either in the slot or on the outside, he's going to make an impact for the Falcons this year.
And, Eric, I remember when I first started with you guys 2 years ago, and one of our big talking points was Vic Beasley and what a beast this guy was. And you don't want to face Vic Beasley. Well, I mean, he went from 15.5 sacks to 5.5, so why the 10-sack drop-off?
Every year a guy has a slump. It's to be expected. I think Vic Beasley is going to rebound himself. 15-5, I'll meet you in the middle and say he gets 11 sacks this year. But you always have to be scared of that Falcon defense. I get the first true test of that Falcon defense opening night when Atlanta comes back to Philadelphia. So I'm going to see Vic Beasley again, and I'm going to see the explosive offense that is Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, and in my opinion, one of the better running back tandems in the NFL, if not top 2 or 3 in my opinion, in Freeman and Coleman. So it still remains to be seen what Atlanta's going to do. I just want to see how they are opening night against the world champs.
Oh, they're going to be ready.
What did Jalen Ramsey call Matt Ryan? Did you say trash, garbage, not good? What did I don't remember.
He said he was overrated.
Overrated.
You are MVP one year and then you're really bad the next year, and you have Julio. You're overrated.
Do you agree with that, Al Bushman?
Yeah, try and be unbiased
is
on this one.
Is Steve Sarkisian drinking again this year? Because if he is, then I think they're going to have another MVP caliber year out of Matt Ryan. So I don't think Matt Ryan's overrated. I think he's very underrated at certain points.
All right. Well, let's move it along to the Panthers here. Carolina Panthers finished 11-5 last year. Greg Olson's coming back, and that we know Cam Newton loves Greg Olson. I mean, he is over 1,000-yard tight end. He's a really good guy. How much does this mean for him coming back this season?
Oh, it's huge. It's huge to have one of your top targets come back. Is Greg Olson going to have over 1,000 yards this year? More than likely, because the wide receiving core in Carolina, does it even exist? I mean, you've got White Lightning at the running back position. Is Jonathan Stewart still playing? I mean,
he's
on
another
team right now.
He's on the Jets,
right,
I believe.
Right. So, Giants. Okay, so yes.
He's got a clipboard in hand on the Giants bench.
There you go. So it's going to be all White Lightning, Cam Newton, and Greg Olson. So there you go. That's what's going to be you going in. You already know what that offense looks like, and you know how to game plan for it.
Well, we know Jalen Ramsey talked trash about Matt Ryan, and now Kelvin Benjamin, the former receiver, likes to talk a lot of trash about Cam Newton. Is he right? Cam Newton has a career 58.5% completions and a career 85.3 passer rating. Chip, is he really is he good?
I think he has the potential to be good. Like we said, the weapons around him haven't really changed. I think you're going to see something similar. McCaffrey's going to really be involved this year as far as short passes. That should raise a completion percentage. But DJ Moore from Maryland is the slot receiver. I think he ran a sub 4.3 in the draft. So one of the faster guys in the NFL. So I think we'll get an opportunity to see Cam have a better year. Cam's a great athlete. He's never been a thrower first. So I think he's caught in one of those, I'm a great athlete, and, I have to make decisions on the run, and that's why he hurts for completion percentage. But he could do a little bit better this year if he had more weapons.
I do like his shade he throws back at Kelvin Benjamin. Very, very petty, very low-key. You wouldn't even know he was throwing shade. So I'd like to talk more about the Panthers, but I really do want to get to the Saints because the Saints had an outstanding season last year. They had defensive and offensive rookie of the years on their team. Drew Brees is playing at a phenomenal level at 39, 40 years old. He had a 72% completion rate last year. So, but the big thing is Mark Ingram is suspended the first 4 games. And their backups are Shane Vereen and Terrence West. Al Bushman, can these guys do it, or Kamara going to have to do it all himself?
I think Kamara's going to have to carry that heavy load with Ingram being out. But we saw last year that Kamara is very capable of doing that. A guy that came out of literally nowhere last season to be just now a top guy everywhere, especially in fantasy when being a running back. I honestly think he's going to carry that weight for the first 4 games. Honestly, and when Ingram comes back, it's going to be a great compliment with having those two. So, yeah, I think he can.
And now Kamara last year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, over 1,500 all-purpose yards and 13 touchdowns. Eric, is he going to be able to beat that this year? Is he going to be a top 1-2 running back?
I say that he will, only because Mark Ingram is suspended the first 4 games. I think you're going to see the Alvin Kamara show the first 4 games, and then when Mark Ingram comes back, they're going to split carries. He had, 1,500 last year? He gets close to it. Does he top 1,500? I'm going to say no, because Mark Ingram's coming back with a huge chip on his shoulder. They're going to split the carries, but I think what we're going to see in weeks 5 through 9 with Mark Ingram is this man's going to play like a running back possessed, like he is in his rookie year wanting to chase Dickerson's record. That's what I see with that combination. As you get into the later weeks, 10 through 17, they'll go back to that 2 tandem set. But the first 4 games, make no mistake about it, it is the Alvin Kamara show. 5 through 9, Mark Ingram. Rest of the season, they'll split carries.
Unlike the Bucks with their first 3 games with Jameis suspended, they have a very easy first 4 games. Versus the Bucks, versus the Browns, at the Falcons, at the Giants. I mean, they can go 4-0 easily without Ingram.
I'll say 3-1, but yeah.
They're losing the Falcons. They're losing the Browns,
They're
right?
not going to lose to the Falcons.
They're losing. I say the Saints are losing to the Bucks week 1.
Now, Chip, we had Marshawn Lattimore from The Ohio State University as the defensive rookie of the year. He had 5 interceptions last year. Is he going over or under 5 this year?
I think it has potential to go over. The NFC South changed a lot as a division. A lot of teams are going to be throwing the ball. So I think he has the opportunity to go over. And he was a rookie, so he had the opportunity to learn more and see the game, the speed. So I think he can go over.
They did add some parts to their defense this offseason. So now my question to each of you, what is better, the New Orleans Saints offense or their defense?
Ooh, I'd say a draw.
Good answer.
I would say because of last year, nobody really thought that the Saints could have a defense. I would say, wow, man, that's a great question. I'm going to have to say offense because if they got so many weapons on there, and come on, it's Drew Brees.
It is Drew Brees.
I'm going to go opposite of you, which is no surprise. I'm going to go defense. I think their defense got better, and this is the thing where we've always talked about the New Orleans offense being high-powered, but we always knew their defense was suspect. Now they actually have something in place. If they continue that momentum, I'll say the defense is going to be better than their offense.
Offense right now, but defense on the way up. They have a first-round pick with Davenport. We're going to get an opportunity to see if he plays as well. So offense still right now.
I have to go with the offense as well. You can't go against Drew Brees. It's such a high level, and he's like old, so it's awesome. When is it like all these old guys are just like so good at quarterback now? You know, it's crazy. So, all right, let's go to the division. Saints over or under 11 wins.
Under.
Under.
Same.
Panthers 11.
Under.
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 Falcons 10.
Over.
Under.
Same.
Bucks 5.
Over.
Under.
5 wins for the Bucks. Over.